Australia's batters in the current WTC cycle. Everybody was saying that yes, Australia's batters will find it difficult against a better bowling attack. Look at the statistics. Usman Khwaja has the best average in this current WTC cycle. The others, including Steve Smith, Marnus Labuschagne, are all struggling. Yes, Travis Head has contributed in patches. Mitchell Marsh, Alex Carey, the lower middle order have actually done better than the top order. Now, what explains this dynamic shift? Australia, when you used to get your eye in, the traditional Australian pitches where you survived the first 1-2 hours and then you would ride your luck and ensure that you scored plenty of runs in Australia. But now, there is a massive sea change that has happened. Because on Channel 7 on commentary that we were listening at this stage, they explained a very interesting bit as to why the batting averages have dipped in Australia. Because if you look at it, 2016 to 2020, the batting averages in Australia was 44, and in 2021 to 2024, the batting averages is 34. A 10-point dip in these 4 years, which is very alarming. 44 average, you saw those pitches back then in Australia which were flat. The ball was also getting softer very quickly, and even this is reflected in the average per runs. Average per runs in Australia from 2016 to 2020 was 40.6. It's almost dipped by a full point in these last 4 years, 39.8. Why has this happened? The major reason for Australia's batters struggling in their own home turf is the ball, the Kookaburra ball, the new enhanced Kookaburra ball. Because the Kookaburra ball in the past, in hard Australian conditions, used to go soft very quickly and bowlers would then struggle in the middle periods. But now there is an enhanced Kookaburra which has ensured that yes, the seam movement is much more pronounced. Then you've got movement that continues, the ball doesn't go soft immediately. Now, this is the thing that most commentators on Channel 7 pointed on air, because they mentioned, Aaron Finch in particular mentioned, extra layer of lacquer. Now, you see the shine that is there on the ball. Normally with the Kookaburra 15-20 overs, it would wear off, but now the shine is pronounced for even 30-40 overs. This extra layer of lacquer means ball remains harder for a longer period. So, if you have layers of lacquer, the ball is harder for a longer period of time. There was criticism earlier that ball goes soft quickly on hard Australian pitches. It shines up a lot better. There is something which helps it swing consistently. The stitching has improved, the thickness of the stitching has improved, the lacquer that is there around the ball has improved, which means the shine is longer, the stitching is thicker, which means you will get more movement on a consistent basis. Plus, there are two additional factors. Aaron Finch was unable to point out there is something which helps it swing consistently. There are two other factors in this. James Brayshaw, one of the commentators who's been commentating on Australian cricket for 2 decades, he mentioned, ball has improved with extra lacquer and improved stitching, but the batting average are dropped by 10 in 4 years. Add to that the souped up pitches and batting has become tougher. Souped up pitches. Now, what was the criticism in previous BGTs? The pitches were too flat. You look at 2014-15, every match you would see scores in excess of 500. More than 3,000 to 4,000 runs were scored by both sides combined in the 4-match series. But in 16-17 that changed. If you look at it, 18-19 and all, ever since the Ashes of 2017, where run making was so easy, 600 plus totals were posted, batting has really deteriorated in Australia. Souped up pitches, Melbourne has become very spicy, Brisbane is spicy, Perth, Adelaide, everything has become spicier, and that is why now Australia's batting has struggled in this WTC cycle. Now they are in big trouble against India because they are batting folded up for a very low score and they have given themselves a very handy lead. This is alarm bells for Australia, because if their batting doesn't improve from Adelaide onwards, they can not only kiss the WTC final hopes goodbye, but they can also ensure that they do not get the BGT for another edition altogether. So, Perth already signaled the alarm bells. You know the reason why Australia's batting has struggled at home in these kind of conditions because of the improved Kookaburra ball. And that plan from Cricket Australia seems to have backfired. Thank you so much folks for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.